with my treadmill. 20 minutes cardio. Done. So today I am scripting how I stop letting others define my worth is my topic today. That's one of those things that you kind of learn like in waves, because I've definitely also learned this and gotten better at this like at the club. If you don't know your self-worth and then you work at a strip club, the customers are going to define your worth and you're going to accept whatever the fuck they say, because you're like, oh, well, they're saying that I look like I deserve a $20 dance, so I should just be charging $20. Baby, no, absolutely not. Charge what you feel like you deserve and what you want to put up with, and that applies to life too. Like if people in your life don't see your worth, that's okay. Go to the next person. It's fine. You don't need to force anybody to see your worth. That is a waste of fucking time and energy. But it doesn't necessarily mean that your worth is what other people are setting it up. You can always improve your worth as well. You can always evolve and change and grow and become a better version of yourself that's worth even more. Like you never have to like stop putting more worth into yourself. Most of us are priceless, right? Everyone's priceless. Nobody's for sale. When I first started working at the club, I started watching a lot because I was first bartending and waitressing, so I was just observing. I'm an observer, okay? Before I do anything, I like to watch others, and I think that was kind of one of those like eye-opening things that kind of made me realize like, oh, like I have to decide what I'm worth. Like there's been many lessons in my life where I've had to decide my self-worth, like at regular jobs, like when I worked at Ross or when I worked at this car dealership. I was like, I need to be paid more for this. I'm not gonna be throwing my life away doing some dumb shit just so I can stay at a job that for one I don't fucking like, but for two, I'm not being paid what I think I'm worth. Especially at this car dealership job that I worked at. Like I liked working there. It was very like lax. But as soon as I wanted to like, okay, I'm like, let me take this more seriously, because I was mostly just driving cars. As soon as I wanted to take it more seriously, like I noticed the owner wasn't taking me seriously. So I was like, okay, whatever, I get it. But I'm not gonna stay here and be paid nothing and do all this extra shit for you and be paid the same fucking salary. Like it was crazy. So that was one of the lessons of when I learned like, okay, like my self-worth is not worth that, okay? But you know, fast forward to me being at the club, that's when I had like a t-shirt on my head because that's how I like to dry my hair, without like a towel. But when I started working at the club, that's when I saw the girls that didn't have self-worth, like no shade to them, but it's like they lost it along the way somewhere and they were just accepting whatever. And I saw that like throughout the years, and I was just like, damn, like, you know, once you go low, like you probably won't go any higher than that, honestly. Because like you've already just like accepted that you're down here and that's your worth. And that's just literally anywhere in life, whether it's at jobs and relationships. Like there's been so many lessons that I've had to learn about like, what the fuck is my self-worth? What do I want to accept? Do I want to accept the fucking bare minimum, or do I want to get more for myself out of life? I know that, you know, people look at the club in a funky way, like that's, you know, that's bullshit, da-da-da. Like you can be paid hella money to do like nothing at the club. You know, it just really depends on the type of customer that you meet. But then there is times where maybe like it's a slow season and then you just accept breadcrumbs. Because it happens, because you're like, damn, like there's literally nobody in the club. There's just one guy and that's all he got. So I'm gonna take that, right? And that's like when that line like gets crossed of like, is this like worth my time? Should I be doing this? Or like that's usually when I like take a break from work, because I'm just like, dude, this shit's pissing me off. I'm good. And that's on learning what your self-worth fucking is. I have had to learn this lesson over and over again. And like sometimes you might forget what it is, but that's why it's important to always like remind yourself like how far you came, who you used to be, and what you are worth now. I feel like the hardest parts about unlearning that you are not worthy, or that, let me restart. I feel like the hardest parts about unlearning that you're not worthy, or basically reteaching yourself your worth, is the self-doubt and like the voice in your head being like, who the fuck do you think you are? Who the fuck do you think you are? Because for so long, like you kind of think that you're not worthy of anything. Like, you're not even worthy of like existing. So when you're literally trying to like reprogram your brain to think otherwise, your brain's like, this is unfamiliar. This is weird. Like, we've been thinking this other way about us for so long, and now you're trying to switch it up. Who the fuck do you think you are? This is wrong. But it's just some resistance in your mind that you kind of have to like work through. And I mean, on top of all that, on top of the mental aspect of it, you will also run into people who also think like, oh, you have some audacity. Who the fuck do you think you are? Because they're so used to you not having any self-worth that now once you have flipped that switch, they know that they can no longer manipulate or use you or walk all over you. So they will either stop talking to you, which has happened to me, or you will pick up on it and be like, oh, okay, weird, I don't want to interact with these people anymore. I peeped that with a lot of friendships that I had, because once I realized, you know, especially after becoming sober and realizing like my self-worth with that, other people kind of looked at me like, oh, like she thinks she's too good for us. But like, I never thought that. It's just like their own insecurities. But then I also realized like after that, it's because like, oh, I was like letting these people walk all over me when I was getting lit, because I had no self-worth of like any kind for myself. So once like you start heading down a path of like, okay, like I deserve more than this, people will look at you like you're fucking stupid, look at you like you're fucking crazy, like how dare you. But that shouldn't tell you that that's your worth, like what they are expecting of you. Like that should just show you that those people shouldn't be in your life anymore, because that's what that showed me. Like I wasn't like, oh, maybe they're right, no, because I already had that little voice in my head. It's not that they're right or anything, it's just like you changing makes people uncomfortable. And once you decide like that your worth is worth more and that you want to take care of yourself and love yourself and you don't, you know, expect anything less than a certain bar, it's gonna make people uncomfortable, you know? And good. I think you should let it make people uncomfortable, because those people were so comfortable with you acting like you were below them. And the whole time you could have just walked all over them the way that they walked all over you. But that's another thing that kind of hurts other people's ego. It's like, damn, like she thinks she's above me, but on top of that, she's not like trying to like stomp on my ego. So now that really like makes them feel like shit. They're like, well, who does she think she is? So she's not gonna act like a piece of shit like I am. But all those things are like literally not your problem. That's other people's life lessons and cycles that they have to go through, and growth and learning if they ever even fucking go through them. But that's literally not any of your problem. You just need to focus on your own worth, your own growth, and where you are fucking headed. People could come with you or they could just scram. It's literally not your problem. It never has been. I am like basically ready.
No eggs.
So to answer the question, is it worth it? I would say so. It's a reward for leaving the house and running 2 errands. I'm here to get Q-tips and a lip pencil sharpener, and I literally can't find it, so I'm gonna have to ask for help. I'm like trying to find an employee. I guess this is now going to become a serious situation. Let me see what I could do here. I'm back home, and this is what I found. I found it by the fucking cash register, okay? I've been needing one of these for like weeks now. I have just been like using every pencil liner that I have until it's like dull, because I can't find my fucking sharpener that I've had for like ever. I'm gonna go eat and then we'll chit chat. I don't like leaving my house. I prefer to stay home, okay? Self-worth will always come back to your internal struggles and your own internal beliefs. A big thing that I had to do was detach my worth from what other people thought about me, because I heavily wanted to be accepted by people who didn't accept themselves, and those are the people that I was allowing to determine like what my worth was. Once you take control of what your worth is, then that shit just comes a lot easier too. All those things have to start internally. It does not matter if someone else tells you like you're worth everything and the moon and the stars. It doesn't matter unless you fully believe it, because other people can take it away from you. So if you don't believe in your own self-worth, then that's where you should fucking start. Like that's fucking step one. But it's all very important for the whole entire puzzle piece. Puzzle to come together. Well, I hope you guys liked this video. I liked making it. This was very laid back for me. And my dog's about to come over here. That's it. Feel free to comment down below. This is going to be my first video of this daily vlog series, and yeah, we'll see where this goes. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe button. This is me and Raven, my doggo, first angel baby. I know. Well, that's it. That's the video. Thank you for watching. Yes, thank you. Okay, you gotta get down. Okay. All right.